recording?
Yep.
All right, Mr. Miller, it's all yours.
I now open this Employment and Police Committee at 6:45.
I think each of you have your packet in front of you, and you sent the COLA comparison to everybody. Okay. I don't know if you've had too terrible much time to absorb, but I think Mr. Miller had asked the ladies to come up with the cost to the town for a 3%, 4%, or a 5% raise. And print small enough. And please help me if I misspeak or misspoke or get crossed up. This is really the recapitulation on the front sheet.
That's really small.
Yeah, if I don't have glasses, I couldn't read it. You're working with old people here, man.
I know. It didn't print like I would love it.
That 1117 paper out with the big print. And I talked to Jackie earlier today. There's no decision. You don't have to decide anything today. But I asked her if this included benefits, and she said it did include the benefit cost. Okay. So current with elected officials and the fire department, and we have the officers. We have 3 or 4 officers to get a check. Is that right? Okay. And $5,171,109.62 is what our total current payroll as it exists right now.
That's not, yeah, it is on here, yes,
You
correct.
with me? Okay. And a 3% cost of living for all departments with benefits, including fire department and elected officials, and you guys are in there. A 3% raise would cost $5,364,977.46, a difference of $193,867.84. I think Ben had asked me what a 3% would cost. I told him I thought it'd be about 160, but actually 190,000. Okay. There's a 4%. You can see $236,668.71, and a 5% COLA would be a total of $275,221.71.
So,
Again, behind that,
hold up.
yes,
So the difference between a 3 and a 4 is $42,800.
sounds about right. That's what I'm seeing here on this chart. Does that make sense to you? Okay. You prepared this,
Well, Jackie prepared it.
but you're
She went
familiar
over
with
it
it. Yep, there you go. Now, keep in mind, departments like the bus, that's primarily compensated by the state. For the most part, you do have about $40,000 in the total bus operation that the county contributes. So the majority of that is paid for out of state money. Obviously, electric and water and sewer are revenue funds, and those are paid for out of the rates paid to the town. Administration, PD, street, sanitation, those are general fund activities. And without, I mean, I can just tell you, our electric department, not so much the water and sewer, because we're debt. We have a significant amount of debt in our water and sewer department. So a lot of our extra money after operation, we got to pay our debts because we have bond issues. We've got 4 bond issues. The water plant, still, anything that's been going on since early 2000, we paid off in the mid 30s. So about 10 more years on that. We did a water and sewer project where we disconnected the water tank. We contracted to disconnect the circular concrete tank that used to be located on College.
Okay.
It was a 2017 issue, and then we have the sewer consent order project that was done in, it's a 2014 issue. I think the work was done probably in 2012, 2013, where the judge said you got to stop these overflow pumps at College, Brunswick, Lunenburg, those areas around Bumac. We replaced all the sewer in that neighborhood, and that was back pretty much when I got started here. The consent order had been issued by the judge, and then we did the financing and got it all done. We got a good deal on it.
How long are they?
Pardon?
How long are the loans, I guess?
That particular one is 20. Everything will expire. I think the last one that we have to expire will be the East End, and that was a 4-year note, and we paid like a year on that rascal. So we got 39 years left on that one. But all the other 3 will expire either in 2034 or 2036. So about 10 more years each year.
On this
Piece of paper.
My pen.
How much are they?
Double, you got about $10 million.
But I mean payments per,
$900,000. $850,000.
Thank you.
And that's including principal and interest.
and,
And I can give you an exact number, but
no, I just curious.
it's not $1 million, but it's approaching $1 million. And then we have a big payment, mead payment in the 1st of August every year. Just, you know, we're diverging a little bit away from personnel, but we have a big payment in August every year. And that is, about $370,000 tonight. And that's the one we have to plan for monthly, or we're gonna get ourselves in a jam. Mary doesn't do that as much, but we set aside $55,000 a month in our cash, so that when that big payment comes up, that we've got it on hand. We take it out of the checking account, set it aside in our money market account, so that we don't account for it in our bill paying and that sort of thing. Alright. But the electric is probably the one department that actually has profitability at their such, but we really do supplement the general fund with electric revenue. And old Sam's department doesn't bring in any money, so, we've gotta find some resources. This fire truck.
Yeah.
But again, these are informational items right now for you to think about. As we get into the budget, obviously, we probably have another police employment committee to finalize some of these recommendations on salaries and that sort of thing. But I think it also needs to dovetail with what the finance committee is doing as far as overall balancing the budget. And you guys got your budget calendars last night? I give you an approximation of where we're at.
Well,
You got some extra
these
glasses.
guys that's at $13 and $14, man, you're only giving them 41 cents on the hour.
Well, they're gonna have to get, well, that's the percentage, but I think the minimum wage is going to $13.50, so they're automatically getting up to $13.50 as well. Anybody that would be below $13.50,
Okay,
that
but
is the new state minimum wage and goes into effect
these guys are making
end of the year.
Yeah, I think it's 25.
But these guys are making $13.76. So if you give them 41 cents at 3%, that'll put them at $14.17. You put them at 4%, that'll put them at $14.31. Only thing I'm saying is, and I don't know how the committee feels about it, but I don't want to split, because I feel that if you give a split raise, you're hurting the guys that is making good money. We did it last year. I don't want to do it this year. I don't know how the committee feels about it. How do y'all feel about that?
Last year we did it to try to bring everybody up, like the sanitation workers,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. But then the supervisors and stuff suffered because they only got a 2%.
No, they got 3. It was 3 and 4.
Okay,
It wasn't 2 and 4, it was 3 and 4.
okay.
But we did offer the garbage-men $1.50 an hour raises if they get the driver's licenses, and we provided them with the training, and man, none of them took the test. I mean, none of them have a driver's license yet. And I'd offered them a $1.50 an hour raise if they would get their driver's license.
And another $1.50 if you got the CDL, right?
And another $1.50 to get a CD.
Right.
$3 if you get.
Right, but it's a known fact, these guys that are here now are not gonna get a CD.
Certainly not gonna get a driver's license.
Right, they're not gonna get a driver's license, so we're gonna forget about that.
Well, it's personal choice that they chose not to do that.
Well, I'm saying, but we're gonna forget about that.
I mean, we're not gonna offer any more free.
Right.
Where they could take time off.
I don't think nobody disagrees with that. But you saying now that if they come in at $13.50, they'll start at $15 if they got the CDL.
No, they'll start at $16.50 with a CDL. Those guys that are making $13.50 now will get a $3 raise. $3 raise with a driver's license and a CDL.
It's $1.50 for the license and another $1.50 for CDL.
That's the same thing we do with electric linemen. When they get their certification, we give them $1.50. Wastewater operators, they get a class 3 license, we give them $1.50. And it had been $1 forever. Now it's $1.50.
I think we tried that, and I think that was a very good initiative. However, that's not working for us. They didn't go for that carrot, And then we got to realize too, a lot of the sanitation workers, they already been on staff forever. A lot of them been on forever,
Right.
and they're probably saying, "Why would I do that?" You
Right.
know, I get more money, but I think it was a good program because I was all for it.
I was all for it too.
Yeah,
And I came in here a couple of times, you know that.
Yeah, I get the part about the CDL, because that's probably harder to do, and you gotta go to school now, you can't just get a CDL. But the driver's license thing should be easy. And it's helpful with the town, hey, you jump in the truck and go do something, but, I think that's where we're at.
I can't see this. I got my lights out.
What
But I
you
do
say-
have
what
a
you need?
question. This year I see some people's on some employees are getting a raise and a merit.
Well, we're calling it merit, but I think if you remember, the council had voted on a certain pay plan, like for the police department, wastewater treatment, electric department. I think there were 3 departments that, department heads over the past 3 years, 4 years had come to you, and, council agreed to make those adjustments in the salary, so we're just filling out the agreed upon adjustments, but I don't think there's any other merit increases other than what the,
Okay,
Outside of the pay equalization that was adopted.
so,
that was adopted by council.
Did we
Okay.
adopt that last year?
Past 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Because I thought last year we said we wasn't gonna do.
we was gonna do, last year, the way this thing was supposed to happen is we were supposed to be doing merit raises only this year. But due to the distractions of the council, we never got around to getting to that.
Okay.
So that was the
We
whole
can still
thing.
do that, I mean, if you like, we've done.
No,
evaluations.
no, cause,
That's what you'd like to do?
nah, to me, I just recommend a straight raise across the board.
Like I said, you don't have to decide anything tonight, we still are.
I think all of us are in agreement with that, aren't we?
I don't like that and I don't know anybody, so I can't say that I'm favoritism. But the electrical department, if we look here, all of these guys get a merit raise, and they get a 3%. And then you look on other places, some of the guys don't. So I think we need to do one or the other to be fair. Now I'm all for the police department; they need their merit raise and everything because you guys are great.
Well, I caution you about pulling the rug out from under midway through this agreed upon scales that council voted on previously. I mean, if you don't wanna do it, that's one thing, but we need to let those boys know that, the deal's off.
It's not that we don't want to do it, but I like to be fair and consistent with everybody because this to me, and don't take it wrong, this is like the have and have nots. We're giving these guys everything, but then on the other hand, we're giving some guys nothing. And then we, under the sanitation workers, like we just pick 1 or 2 out to give the merit raise and the 3%.
Wait a minute, where is that at? Where you at?
Like I said, I don't have my glasses, but
Where's the
I
sanitation
just,
at? Let me check this out here.
and I
I
thought
mean,
last year.
if there's a program laid
And then
out,
you, Philip, you got admin getting these,
But
COLA,
I'm saying,
you
can't
got
find it
admin,
now,
you
but
got
I thought we
admin
was
getting
at
these merit raises too.
evaluations and all of that.
well, you're supposed to
Yes.
have an appraisal.
I don't have admin getting any
Yeah,
merit raise.
admin shouldn't have any merit raises in there, it should all be COLA.
Okay. Okay,
No,
now
I
where you at
mean-
on
I
the
mean-
street
I'm-
department?
yeah, yeah, the
I think
admin
there was
doesn't have it.
One where there was a request, is that directly off of the request from the department head?
What's that?
There may have been a request from a department head, but no, there should be no merit. increase.
Like,
Okay,
for the
okay.
sanitation, Milton has it, and Elroy Lewis,
Yeah, Leroy Elroy, who is Elroy Lewis?
Got it cut right.
Why is he getting the 50%? He's only doing the same amount as anybody else. If you're not gonna give all the grass cutters
That may
50%,
be something that Dana. didn't
well,
put-
if you're not gonna give them all,
He's below minimum wage currently,
There it is.
so that
He's
merit
not making
is,
the 1350, that's
cause
what your
the
50%.
minimum wage changes
okay.
January 1st, 25, so we have to account for it July 1 in our budget. Since it'll be overlapping.
But you understand what I'm saying? If you give one of them grass cutters cutter, you give all of them a raise. Cause if you don't, you're gonna have friction. You understand what I'm saying? And me and you done talked about this, man, 1,000 times. You done turned red and I done turned I don't know what. But
I
that's
can't
just,
do it.
and you ain't been to Florida. Well, I'm serious. You know what I'm saying,
I understand.
Were
right?
performance appraisals done?
Yes.
They were?
Copies are available for the committee if you'd like to look at them.
What's that?
Copies are available if you'd like to look at them. In closed session, if you don't
Right.
Well, I mean, they should be some consideration given to those when it comes to those
Merit raises.
merit increases too.
Yeah.
Again, the merit increase, I just wanna caution you, there's no merit increase, it may be titled that, but these are inserted dollar figures the council had voted on previously, okay? When I'm saying merit, there's no merit in there for Mary, there's no merit in there, there may be something for Sam, I don't know, but the police department, water and sewer operators, and the electric department, council had come to agreements with those department heads 2-3 years ago, and they had set up a pay scale in which they wanted to get the employees to, and that's what those dollars are. Now, some of it's a little confusing too, be alert, like Dan Martin.
Yeah.
He's the public works director, so he's paid out of he's paid out of garbage, he's paid out of
Yeah,
public
but
works.
his total is the same in every location. On here,
You got him listed twice.
Dan Martin. is,
48.
For example, under electric, and he's
It
under,
should be just $1.
He's under the
not getting
street.
$3.
But you got him
What I'm
listed
saying
twice
is-
though.
his pay, his salary
It's listed
is
twice.
added in here more than once.
Right, because he paid for it out of 3 departments. That's what I'm trying to
But he ain't
explain.
paid 3 times,
He's not paid 3 times.
but it's added in that 3
He's
times.
reflected 3 times in there.
But is it added in?
Yeah.
So would that be 120,000 or 40,000?
Do you see what I'm saying, buddy? I mean, it's like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
he's the leader of more than one group.
He's got 3 departments, so he's paid individually out of the 3, and I talked to Jackie about it, because I was confused when I looked at it the first time. But the intention is, I think he gets $1, and then he gets the 3%.
But I'm saying though,
$3 and
but what I'm saying, he's only getting paid basically $40,000 a year, right?
Dan?
No,
Yeah.
No, that's just a portion that department's paying. Dan's making $100,000 a year.
no,
No?
No,
no.
no.
Well, he is. I mean, he's making $100,000 a year. That,
He's making it with overtime, but he's at 80, I think, with us.
Let me
I think you got
see.
3 departments to look at. Dan makes that money.
He makes 80 in each one.
Okay, he
I'm quitting my
makes,
job. I'm gonna take his tomorrow
he
then.
makes
What's his hourly
40.
rate?
Huh?
What's his hourly rate?
He makes 48 in one, 48 in another one.
It's the same rate at every, that's what I'm saying.
Same
I
rate.
believe it may have been added in, his,
Take a look at it.
his total salary may be in there more than once.
Right,
We may have, you know, like
right.
$200,000, if you will,
I
that's,
understand the question, and he is divided up, and that's why I bring it up, because he's divided.
I have a problem with the manager, whoever on top of every department, they always getting raises. Since I've been here, since looking at this, but they don't give their staff any. And then you have to ask, are they having any additional duties? Why are we giving you, a merit raise and then 3% or 4%? Do you have any additional duties from year to year? But we can't give it to your employees?
Well, the employees, please understand, everybody that works for the town, everybody that works for the town has the same opportunity, regardless of who they are. And I've been criticized roundly for hiring in from within, but everybody in the town has an opportunity, including, you wanna be a driver, make $3 more an hour, be a driver. If you wanna climb poles, let's climb poles. I would love to get those guys certified, and then I can justify their market to the guys that are putting the effort in to go to school. We pay for everything. We pay for books, we pay for school, pay for the time, we send you to CDL school on our nickel. You gotta sign a contract that you'll stay for 2 years and pay a portion back. But I would love to take those guys and elevate them. But they don't wanna be elevated.
Let me ask you a question. I know we said we weren't gonna cut services. But if that would happen, what would be your thing? How would you place these guys? Just off the record,
you ain't off the record right now.
You ain't off the record.
huh?
You're
not off the
It's on
record.
camera, it's not on
Well,
the record.
but I mean, how would you?
What I do to reduce,
What would you do to replace these? I mean, to say like if the contractor comes in and takes their jobs,
oh, you mean garbage?
right?
Right.
Would the town offer them a job?
He can cut grass, but if we did with Bull, he couldn't ride the garbage truck physically anymore, so we give him a job, he can cut grass now. So, yeah, we try to place him as much as we can. And certainly, I don't know if I need that many grass cutters, but we'll certainly do what we can with them. And then, if they age out or decide to retire or whatever, then just not fill the position. Some options, but without that daggone driver's license, the CDL, they're not, in the real world these days, it's so mechanized. There's not that many garbage men that throw trash in the back of the trucks anymore. So much of it is now, like, and you gotta be a driver and operator to be able to do this stuff.
Philip, you remember last year we sat here and we talked? No, but it's no need in us holding. Are you straight? Are you good with your budget and stuff? I mean,
I believe so.
is he for?
Turn here, man, submit it.
I turned it in, I had
I mean, you know,
Yeah, man, we'll give you a copy of it.
yeah, we'll give you a copy.
See how, what you think.
Right. Okay.
Those are salaries. Second item on the agenda is the Human Resources Department. There's the included in your packet. It's not numbered, so you gotta go to the back of the spreadsheet, but when you get to that page. And if that's something that the department still wants to do, or the committee still wants to do, we're recommending a salary. There's somewhere in the farm with 52 to 65,000, depending on skills and abilities, and that would be your human resources director. And if that's something you guys wanna do, if I can put it in the budget, I'll certainly do so. Or you can modify the budget and add it in and take something and reduce or increase something else.
I thought it was added in last year.
That's what I was
thought we
that was the
put
question I was gonna bring
50,000
up.
away in the budget last year. Cause we've been talking about this ever since I've been here, the HR position.
And we're ready to roll. If you guys, if council so sees to it, then we can do it. But you gotta weigh it with everything else. Can you add another position?
I think we could. I know what you're talking about, the money, but I think that if we got an HR person, I think that things run a little smoother.
What about the lady that was over there that won't replace?
I don't know if they're still in your budget or not, but we're not replacing the positions. I don't know if the money was actually taken out of your budget. Barbara and,
Clyde's wife.
and the other lady,
it was put towards, the other positions up here, officer position.
Oh, yeah.
good.
Yeah, you be a town manager before you know it, man. What are those three groups again, Dan?
Okay, but what about the one that you just had retire? You replaced him, right?
Sanitation,
Matthias?
Garbage, right?
Yes, sir. And I'll get to that when I get up, I got a list of who.
We're gonna finish our last item in Mary Kay.
Okay, yeah.
There's a job description, got a salary associated with it, and we will certainly work our way through the budget process, and if it's something that's a priority for council, by God, then we'll have a human resource director.
I think it should be a priority because we've been talking about it for 5 years and we ain't did nothing. And I
Yeah,
think
I do. I mean, don't we have any positions that haven't been filled?
Positions that haven't been filled, one police officer at this point.
How many do we have now?
One, 13? 13. And I think you're, in the two that were added last year, you took them up to 14.
but then you said you weren't gonna hire one, right?
Huh?
You said you wasn't gonna hire one,
So
right?
he's at 13, and there's one position left, and I think we'll talk about that in just a few minutes before we get to the last item on the agenda. We had an employee, fail a drug test recently. We've been very liberal in trying to help the employees. I'm not advocating taking away the second chance, but what I am advocating is because that employee, took an exceptionally long time to come back to work. I'm going to start being more exacting on the use and donation of sick leave. And right now, we're pretty liberal about it, and people that have been here a long time typically lose sick leave because they've maxed out, and so so what the practice has become, and it's gotta stop. And the practice has become, instead of me losing, I'll just give you some, or you some, or you some, and it's been pretty liberal, and it needs to stop tonight. And the policy does allow the town, says the town manager may establish a leave donation program, would allow employees to donate up to 30 days of their accrued sick leave for use by an employee on family medical leave, and we're gonna get back to that. No more of this, I wanna give my friend 28 hours because I think they may be losing it, those days just need to stop, because we had a gentleman who was, had failed a drug test, and it took an exceptionally long time to come back, and, the other employees were keeping him out of work by donating sick leave. donating sick leave, donating sick leave. So he was getting paid, and he had like 60 days vacation. So we're gonna stop that.
But Philip,
If you're not on family leave, you don't receive donated sick leave.
I would hate to say stop it altogether because I think it depends on the circumstances.
right,
If I'm out for a drug habit, that's my personal
Right,
thing.
right.
That's on me. But if I'm out for something else unforeseen,
Like
You can
cancer.
apply for family
yeah,
medical
yeah,
leave.
for FMLA.
right,
FMLA.
That's why we need an
Right.
HR person because they do all of this.
right.
Then we won't have to be doing
Don't
it
have to be doing
because
it.
we do. I do it at
Yeah, but,
help them at
yeah.
work.
Well, we're doing it right now, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they would come off of your plate and they can do it.
Right.
Okay, well, we are no longer going to allow donation of sick leave.
Unless,
Unless that receiving entity has requested FMLA, which allows for pregnancies and extended sicknesses and all those kind of
That's up to like 12 weeks.
things.
mhm,
Okay.
right.
I think that's good that you're not doing it for that reason. But let's put some literature out, some information so the employees will know.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've been doing it for so long, people do stuff for so long,
Done it for-
and we let them do it, and then they're gonna think, oh, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Let me understand this. So John Doe fails a drug test.
Yep.
The town provides a means for that person to rehabilitate,
We provide health insurance with an employee assistance program.
and you can't take FMLA for that, though, can you, or can you?
Yeah,
You
I
can't,
don't know
can
if
you?
you can. That I don't know. I would have to refer to.
I think you can.
attorney or
I would think you
resource.
could.
I think you could.
We have, they put so many other things on there, but if that individual has declared themselves eligible for FMLA and indeed it's an approved
Yeah.
situation, then people can donate sick leave.
Now, who's gonna determine if
We've
it's a,
got something else on top of this.
But I mean, the government decides what.
yeah, but I'm
is
saying that
required.
who's gonna determine if he's qualified for FMLA?
The doctor does that. You have to take the papers to the
Okay,
doctor,
okay.
and they have to
Doctor
sign
gotta
off
You
on
know, I've
it.
been retired, I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
have to take it to the doctor.
12 weeks in a 12-month period, and you're guaranteed your employment. And with Dominion, I believe it's equal or lesser position. You're not guaranteed the position you have.
Right,
Correct.
You're guaranteed a position.
A position.
You can cut and grass.
right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but
Yes.
it may not be the same pay. You know what I mean?
Can you get the pay?
I,
I think ours,
Huh?
since we're a different position, we can get rid of people.
you can't.
On
Not
this-
On your, I
Not
think
if
on
they
your
have
side,
FMLA.
I think on your side, Murphy, but I don't think that we can
They
do
have to
it.
prove their hardship, and we can.
I think we're talking about two different things. We're talking about FMLA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get rid of it.
You can't get
No.
away.
Yeah.
So do we, I suppose there's, when a person is out, what triggers them being made aware of FMLA as an option, I guess?
Usually, I've only had one employee in 30 years ever ask me about it, and they came to me and said, I am expecting to request FMLA because of my circumstances and the situation I'm in. I said, please fill out the paperwork.
And you know, they don't have to take it all at one time either.
No.
And they did not. fill
Yeah,
it
it
out.
could be,
Correct.
it could be appointments,
Truly
it could be
never
somebody
had
on
FMLA.
chemo that's taking time off for chemo or something like that. You know, all that's,
Yeah, 'cause
And
Tell
then
me
anytime they
about it.
call in, they can just say FMLA. They don't have to say, I gotta go to chemo.
right.
Take my
it's
mama to
Yeah, I
FMLA.
don't
chemo.
think you have to.
Yeah, you don't have to
and they
involve
just don't
any of
feel like
that.
because of the chemo.
But
you
Philip,
know what I mean?
before you do that policy, you know, make,
Policy's in place.
but I'm saying before you add this to that, you know, make it stringent. Go ahead and explain to everybody about what's happening in FMLA. Get a brochure or something, put it up there so they'll know.
Staff meeting and bring everybody.
Right, right. Then that way you cover it, we
We
cover it.
recently had 2 new employees that had no sick leave come in, and employees of the department donated time to them. They weren't sick, there was no, so this is over the top. It's an abuse situation now, and we gotta put a stop to the abuse. I'd like to be liberal with everybody, but, my hands have become tied because I think what people are doing also, receiving sick leave so they can save their vacation and other, because you don't have to provide a doctor's note unless it's 3 days sick. So they'll take 2 days off. If I don't feel good, my tummy hurts or whatever, take 2 days off, get paid for it, even though they don't have sick leave on the book, but another employee's giving them enough time. So we're gonna stop the whole thing and.
Is there a probationary period for new employees?
For some.
I mean, like, you were just speaking of someone taking time, new employees taking,
Well, new employees don't come with any time accrued. So after a certain number of pay periods, a certain number of months, they'll start accruing time, and Mary can tell you how much, pinpoint exactly how much you can accrue, but a brand new employee doesn't have
any.
any.
But how long does it take him to accrue some leave? He accrues of leave the first pay period, right?
No, it's 30 days of their start date.
They start.
So they get paid twice before they can accrue time. If that makes
After
sense.
30 days
Right.
of employment.
Somebody been here, they just got here and then they're taking time already?
That's why I'm asking.
No, I don't think they've taken the time, they just wanted to have some on the books. That really prompted me, the guy that missed a drug test, and then those two requests, I said enough is enough, that's why we have it on the agenda tonight.
Well, that's
It's
understandable.
abuse,
That's
it's
understandable.
no good, and.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's taking advantage of the
That's
town.
understandable.
I think there are some notes on there below that. If you don't have your glasses, Carolyn, it could be a little tough to read. I may read it to you if you'd like. Town manager would like to update the current policy, and this is the drug and alcohol testing policy that we have. And I think a copy is also included. In the package. And again, you can chew on that a little bit. I knew stuff that particularly fluid.
Where you
Yeah.
at? Where you at?
Right here on the front page.
On the front page,
On
on the front.
page. And this will give it to you in a nutshell what we're trying to accomplish. In the drug and alcohol policy, town manager would like to update the current policy to indicate a timeline in the return to work section, and also add that the employee must use their accrued time during the duration of their leave. They've got to exhaust their time. Okay? Don't fail a drug test. You make me send you home and then take 30, 45, you gotta use your leave. Okay? If the employee does not have any accrued leave to use, they will be removed from all benefits set in place for full-time employees in the current personnel handbook, including retirement, health insurance, and accrued leave. If the employee would like to stay on the town's insurance plan, the employee must pay out of their own pocket the cost of the monthly premium. Because right now you pay 100% of the employee's premium. All benefits reinstated upon the employee's return to work. What we want to do is encourage people to come back to work. Here's the problem. Here's where I've got a glitch in this. This is something we need to think about. A lot of these guys have to take a course with a licensed clinician through their employee assistance program that is provided by their health insurance. If we cut the health insurance off, will they ever complete that program and come back to the town for a 14-hour dollar job?
Do we know how long the program is? The SAP program?
I think it's 6 classes or something. I don't think it's
I'm not
terribly,
sure.
I've never been through it, but they've got to finish that class and have a return to work negative substance abuse test. Okay?
So this return to work, this is only for
Drug and
the
alcohol.
drug, or should it be for everything?
Drug and alcohol.
Well, let me ask you a
Yes.
question.
Mhm.
If I flunked the test today,
Yes, sir.
so I'm going home today.
You go home today,
So when do you expect me to come back to work?
30 days. I have an expectation you'll come back in 30 days.
So within 30 days, I'd be done completed the classes and
You
everything.
should be able to complete the class and be clean.
But now, do you have to complete the class and be clean, or
To come back to work, you do.
you got to do both?
Gotta do both.
I don't think that's hard to do.
That's not hard. No,
Yeah.
that's not
That's
hard.
what it is now, okay? But what we wanna do is just, we don't want it to exceed, and what we're having problems on is we're paying, because everybody burns through their time, we're paying the insurance on for people, keeping them on the books, we're paying their retirement, we're paying their benefits, and they may come back in 45 days. Well, I haven't finished I can't pass my test just right yet, and so we wanna put a time limit on there, right? So you shall return to work in a certain amount of time. 30 days may be tough, and maybe 40 days, something, but give them some deadline. You gotta have your classes finished, you gotta have negative substance abuse. And then, if it exceeds past that, then we take you off all of it. The health insurance is the kicker, because in order to pass those classes,
You gotta have that.
you gotta have
That
that.
insurance.
You know, otherwise you gotta pay out of pocket for it. No.
I think that's good what you're doing.
Yeah.
But what I would do is talk to these people to do the class.
Right.
So we have the specifics, so we won't say 30 days and it really takes them 40 days.
Right.
So we have that, and then you put that into the policy.
And not looking for an answer tonight, but something to chew on and something to think on, and it always vexes the ladies over here when they don't have any time. They can't come back to work because we sent them home. They burn through all their time prior to being sent home. And so they're sitting home with us paying their health insurance and retirement. And employees donating time to them so they get a paycheck too. So we dealt with the first part, where they're getting a paycheck. Now we're dealing with the benefit side of things. At what point do we say benefits stop?
So Philip, if I started to work for the town, say in 2 weeks, I flunked the test. So does that mean that my probation, do I still get the same benefits as
Some
some?
of the guys, like in the street department, we don't necessarily have a probation period. Probation period certainly applies to the police department. Probation period applies if we specifically write a letter and say, you have a 6-month probationary period,
Right.
okay? And a lot of that because in departments where you have to perform, you gotta be DMV certified on the side. If your background comes back or you can't, you're on a probationary period. For the guys that cut grass and all that, there's not really a probationary period. If we wanna make that a practice, everybody has a 6-month probationary period, let's establish that as a policy, and everybody will fall under 6 months. But certain positions require it, you know, say a background check, or something happens that you find something in the background with an officer or something like that, where you can't get bonded or for whatever reason. But if we wanna make 6 months as a probationary period, I think it's an excellent idea, and we'll make it applicable to everybody. And you can say, if you fail drug testing your first 6 months, your
Right.
second chance went out the window.
Y'all see anything wrong with that? Huh?
No, I think it's
I
definitely.
think it's the best thing, Philip.
I know.
I think the only thing we saying is everything we talking about tonight. Get whoever to type it up, talk to the employees, and tell them what's going on. If you gotta have a mass meeting, have it.
Yeah.
Then everybody start off on the right foot.
The only people that won't necessarily be able to attend, police officers if they're in court or something like that, but we'll pass it on to Sam.
Well, he
do
can-
his thing with
He
it.
can do that.
Okay.
And then get everybody to sign to an in-service sheet, on which I'm sure you do.
Yeah, you do.
And then when
That's
you
another
pull
thing.
that,
And
Right.
and they can say, well, I didn't know.
Right.
Oh, you knew because I have your signature.
Good idea.
Right.
We do it all the
Right.
time at work.
The other way you're covered.
I make everybody that buries the family members in the cemetery sign on. I received a copy of the flower policy and the Confederate flag policy. An excellent idea. All right. No decision on that tonight, but the sick leave we can handle immediately because I think it's already in print. Okay. Last item would be Sam, and we asked Sam to come tonight, and I think he talked a little bit with you the other night.
Yeah.
He's got some organizational ideas, what he wants to do with his officers. You know, Chris Mathias has retired, and Chris Mathias was a sergeant.
Yes.
Sergeant, so we had 2 sergeants, Mathias and Tony Mason, and Sam's gonna make presentation to you what he would like to do ultimately with his officers and other positions.
This being
Yes, sir.
personnel discussion, do we need to go closed?
As long as we're not talking about individual,
I'm not gonna talk
Okay,
individuals.
that's what I'm
Okay,
asking.
don't
okay.
do things, then you're fine, but if you are gonna talk about salary, promotion, demotion, anything for individuals, we do need to.
Let's go to Sam.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'll try to keep it simple so we don't have to do all that. Sorry for my sheet here. I'm not an accountant. I did this on Excel, so do the best that I can. But if you'll notice on your your sheets there's 3 numbers that I circled at the bottom. The one all the way at the right of your paper should be 891,000 and some change. That is what our budget was for salaries when the chief was here previously, the last chief. Of course, he retired. We had Sergeant Mathias retired. We've lost some of our older folks, and we've hired some younger folks. They're not making quite as much as some of the guys that we lost, of course. So salaries went down. So if you look at the number all the way to the left of the paper, should be 851 and some change. That is what our salaries currently should be or should reflect.
This color sheet?
No, I'm
No,
sorry.
right here.
I didn't give you that. I'll give you this one if you want it. Then, of course, I do want to make some promotions. Before I was promoted to chief, we had a chief here. I was a sergeant and an investigator. We had 2 other sergeants. We had a corporal who also was a K-9 officer at the time, and I believe it was approved to have a second corporal, which we never promoted that position before Kuzmiak retired. So what I would like to do is personally maybe stay away from sergeants because I just need somebody on each shift that is in control. Somebody that I can look to and say, look, you're the one here, it's your call. Usually that's somebody that's a senior officer. if nobody else is here, you need to make the decisions and you need to rein in the younger guys that might not have as much experience. And I want to promote those individuals to corporals, which is I guess the first step in the promotion process.
Ask a question.
Mhm.
What's the difference between the sergeant and the corporal?
Sergeant is above a corporal. So you have
So
an
job wise,
officer.
the title wise, they have a little bit more.
Yes, ma'am. So first it would be just the officer. The first promotion normally is corporal, then sergeant, then lieutenant, captain, whatever the case may be. It just depends on the organization. But what I would like is maybe one lieutenant instead of several sergeants, and have that person take care of all the paperwork. Because before we had two sergeants, and the sergeants they split the shift. So we have 2 days that this sergeant has 4 people that he manages. The other sergeant had 4 or 5 people that he managed, and they did all their paperwork. If I was able to have a lieutenant, they would do all the paperwork, send everything to the Commonwealth Attorney, send all the videos in, redact the videos, and have just one person dedicated to that job instead of each person doing their own shift. And then instead of having 2 sergeants, I could just have corporals to run their guys, and they wouldn't have to do as much paperwork, nothing like that. They could just focus on getting the job done, because all the paperwork we create is very time consuming. And I think I could do that, and it would also be cheaper for the town to not have as many higher ups and just have maybe some corporals. So I had looked at maybe a chief's position, lieutenant, a couple corporals, of course, investigator, and possibly K9. And that is the middle column there. I had kind of just came up with some numbers based on, we have a corporal now, and I looked at what his pay increase was when he was promoted. And some of the guys that don't have as much time or experience, they might get the difference. Let me see how I can explain this. They don't make as much money, but they would get a couple $1,000s increase. But they wouldn't make as much as a corporal that had, 5 years experience more than they did. So since it's not based on just the position, but also experience, I could be able to promote the individuals I would like to promote, which I have not decided yet. They applied for the positions, but I have not went through their applications. So I haven't decided who's going to be where, which makes it easy because I don't have
They're
to
all
tell you.
in-house, right?
Yes, all in-house. And they've applied, but I have not looked through their applications because I didn't know if I was going to be allowed to do that yet. So I wanted to be.
But the next academy starts in,
The next academy starts July.
is it too quick to hire somebody to have them in a July academy?
No, but I am kind of waiting to see what council allows me to do. I have interviewed, well, I haven't physically, we had a panel that interviewed several people. They had one individual they liked, and they were getting ready to do some more interviews at the end of this month. And if whoever we like, we don't have to hire them. There's no guarantee that they're going to get hired. We just told them that we like them. We still have to do a background check. And if we're not allowed to hire by July, we'll just tell them, look, we like you, but maybe we have to wait till the January academy or whenever council would allow me to hire.
A fall academy, I know there was 3 of them.
They did 3 at one point, but they had a hard time filling the last class.
They canceled
And
that.
so I think they're going to stick with 2, unless they get a lot of people that want to come.
So let me understand now. It's gonna be you.
Mhm.
Then it's gonna be the lieutenant.
Mhm.
What's after that? The sergeant?
No, I don't want to do any sergeants. The lieutenant would take the sergeant's spot.
Okay.
It would just be corporals because I want somebody. So like Tony works day shift. He's a sergeant currently. Tony works day shift. I'm working day shift. At nighttime, the only corporal we have is Farley. He's on one shift. And the other shift doesn't have any supervisors. So if they have something going on, they just look at each other and hopefully they can figure out what they need to do. But if something goes on, they have to call Shay or call Tony or call myself. I want somebody that I can say, look, you're running this, you make the decision. I mean, if you have a problem, of course, call somebody, but it's your responsibility at this point to determine what we need to do from here on out, and you control
How
your.
many total corporals would you have? I don't have your form from you, I apologize.
I listed 4,
4 corporals.
one for each shift, and
That's
it doesn't
the
have to
20
happen that way.
That's the 2772.
The 4, so if I was allowed to hire what I wanted to, that would be a chief, a lieutenant, 4 corporals, K9 investigator, and that is that middle number that is circled, 875. So that would be 24,000 and some change more than our current salary figure, but it's still $16,000 less than what we were paying in salaries when Chief Kuzmiak was here, because we have younger crowd.
I'm gonna ask a question because I know I'm gonna get asked a question.
Hmm?
Have you made any considerations for animal control? And the
I,
answer
I've,
could be no,
it,
that's fine.
it's yes and no. So I've asked about it. I don't think the guys have a lot of interest in it, but we did have somebody that was willing to do it at one point, Jason, and I think we would have somebody willing to do it if the need arose. I just haven't seen a whole lot of movement with the county, so
No,
I
we-
thought
we
had
kinda-
somebody that wanted to do it.
That's what I
thought
thought
we had
too.
somebody wanted to really jump into it. And
we
do
did
it.
at one point, but he also wants to be investigator, and he's just been in class for 2 months in Richmond to,
The problem with animal control, and I've tried to explain this a time or two, the previous county administrator refused our access into the shelter. So it doesn't help at night if we've got a dog that's been in an accident, or we've got a stray dog, or we wanna pick it up, as an animal control officer can do, we can't do anything with it. Cause they won't come in after hours, they won't come in on weekends, so it's just kind of a fruitless task. With the new county administrator, perhaps there'll be some more opportunity and a turnover at the board level.
all right, and we still have the truck that we have not put anybody in yet because
If
We
you
were kinda
don't have
waiting to
an
see.
animal control officer, will you put it on the road?
I will. I'm gonna have to, because, yeah. We don't-
Fire department's looking for one.
Yeah, trade it off, swapping. We're good to get the budget down.
Everybody's fighting for the truck.
That's
Everybody
right,
wants it.
that's right.
Let the fire department have it. We take that $45,000 back. So what's the 89 now?
89?
89, 19, now?
Oh, that was the total that we had previously with Chief Nick.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Well, I like the organization that you want to do.
What are two?
We currently got 14 officers.
13. We have 14 available if you let me hire one more, but we have,
You want a total of 14.
that's what y'all allotted. I mean, I'm not,
I've asked them
that's
to
your
hold off
decision,
until we get to
yes.
the budget and find out where we're at, and see what we can afford and not afford, and what we do.
What you need to make the town safe, 13 or 14.
That always depends on if people stay. So that's always been a problem with the police department is because we have turnover. You know, people go back and forth. They leave the county and come here. They leave here and go to the county. It has not
We're paying a lot
since,
better, and I think that has,
it has. Soon as the town did the salary survey, it has been much better.
Oh, we with the county.
if we're not above,
We're slightly above, I believe.
How many officers does the county have, do you know?
When I first came here, we had 15 here, and I think we were tit for tat with the county. I think now, since they have school resource officers and whatnot, they're a little bit ahead of us now as far as numbers. But pay-wise, I believe they're about tit for tat if we're not ahead.
Also, if you didn't remember, don't know, we never, up until about 7 or 8 years ago, offered Leo's coverage, which is a hybridized retirement plan specific to police. State police get it, county deputies get it, but
Prison guys get it.
never
Mhm.
got it.
Yeah, them guys
And
from the
so
prison.
it
I
cost
think your buddy had that plan too when he was
cost
in
us between
prison.
$40,000 and $50,000, and Pam can tell you, but you can retire earlier
Right.
at a lower age and have your full benefits without coming together. Is it 20 and 50? 20, 50?
25 and 50,
25 and 50 instead of 30.
or 20 at 55. But
So we've about got an officer for every 150 voters. There's about 2,200 voters in town.
Do you have anybody anticipating retirement? that you
yes,
know
I do. I don't want to call his name, but there's somebody that I believe will be retiring this year.
of? Okay.
Thought May, but I think he wants to stay a little longer now. So probably towards the end of the year.
Who we need to hire anyway so we can replace him. So he can do the training and all of that.
That would be helpful, but
Trained
Again.
officers also.
Mhm.
You don't have to wait for the academy.
So the officer that was over there this morning, or yesterday, whatever, he just came on too, right?
which one? The one that was up front?
Yeah, no, not the one that was up, the one that carried me back there to you.
He's been there. You're talking about, I believe that was Keith Phillips or Lath, which
No, it wasn't Lath. I know Lath.
the only two working was him and Keith Phillips. That was he in plain clothes or in uniform?
No, He was in uniform.
That was Keith then, Keith
Yeah.
Phillips. He was former chief in Victoria.
Okay.
He's a long time chief over Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
No neck, right?
You know, he is. His son played baseball with our kids. Good folks.
He's a little young guy.
No.
I wouldn't say, he's probably younger than I am.
He's
so-
a little guy.
But I don't know if I would say young.
Yeah.
He's probably,
He went through the academy with Chris Mathias.
I think he came, I locked my keys in my car and he came one day and opened for me. I didn't tell him who I was.
did you
'Cause I
say he
didn't-
was young?
Well,
Do you think-
not old.
Do you think I'm young?
Bro, do
He's
you
a
have,
portrait, yeah.
you got the same. You all have the same insurance that the town employees have too.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And just so you can tell your folks at council about it last night you were here, where we're keeping the insurance for.
I did see that, which I'm sure one of our officers will be grateful to hear that, because I think one of the things that was going to be cut if you switched companies, he is currently on,
Oh, some of the medication. There you go. All right, well,
and that was one reason he came here,
oh, really? Gotcha.
Yep.
Roger that.
because it was not covered at his former employer.
Well, I read the rules and all that sort of stuff. We need to have another police and employment committee as we get closer in the budget to talk about these things. I don't know if you're looking for any direction tonight.
No, I just wanted to.
What's it, I mean, I'm not, that's, I mean, to me, we're not gonna be, it's not gonna cost us anything for him to reorganize his group.
No.
We're actually paying $16,000 less a year.
Right.
Right.
I like it.
I mean, do we need to vote on that? It's not an increase in cost.
Well,
I
we
think
can
Sam's entitled to do his thing, but obviously you wanna know. what's
He just
going
wanted to know and let us know.
right.
Yeah, well,
I
so
said, do your
appreciate
thing
that.
and-
Just go ahead and do it,
You
and
do
you
it.
know, and then when you get the chart done, you bring it to Philip, and then Philip can let us know what's.
Okay. And it'll probably be piecemeal, to be honest with you. I know some folks, like the officer I was talking about, that's in the Richmond, Virginia Forensic Science Academy. I'll probably go ahead and put him as investigator when he's completed. He's been here for a long time, been here for over 10 years. So that would be a position I would want to do a little more hastily than others, and some I probably won't fill immediately. Like I said, the guys applied for positions, and
Trust you.
I'll probably fill them as a needed
Good thing.
basis.
It's a whole lot cooler than someone coming in and saying, hey,
Yeah.
we need 4 more people. And,
Right.
Yeah, do your
Right.
thing, and just let us know who you got,
Yes, ma'am.
so we'll know.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Right.
Man,
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for being so
But
transparent.
now when they hit you over the head, don't come to us now.
I got to call somebody.
No.
Call Councilman Williams.
Don't call me.
Call Gomez.
I'm gonna say I didn't tell you nothing.
I can think of no additional items for your consideration. Should get to the public. I do not have any additional items. Within the next week or so, we'll call a staff meeting. We'll do it up at the town shop or something. We do them on Tuesdays. But I do want to announce to you guys, next Tuesday, which is the 26th or 27th? 26th, at, did you pick a time? 2 o'clock, we will have our de-escalation training provided to any of the employees, or all employees that currently have a concealed carry permit. And if anybody would like to join, it'll be at 2 o'clock. It is a program provided to us by our insurance carrier and Thomas Bullock, their in-house counsel. Okay.
Oh, Philip, remember you told us you was gonna give us a list of who you letting carry?
We have that list.
Do you
And
have that list after that?
yeah, I mean, I give it to you in a problem, but everybody has to take this. We told them it's mandatory. We're doing it on Tuesday because all the water and wastewater operator guys are on Tuesdays, and so yeah, I'll be happy to provide you a list. And we just went back and did a reconciliation, make sure we had copies of everybody's concealed, and
But
And we do.
everybody's not gonna carry a concealed weapon, is it? Or is this for the whole town or what? All the town employees?
anybody that, no, not every town employee, some are not entitled to carry a concealed weapon because they may be convicted felons.
Right.
But anybody that does will have to fall under these restrictions, including this training, which we now have downloaded, so we can offer it multiple times. It's not just a one time. We'll have that.
Should be at least annually.
Pardon?
I said should be at least annually
There you
as
go.
a refresher course.
Mm-hmm. Or a refresher. I don't know if we need to show the same video over and over and over, but whatever Versa or
They on
VML.
YouTube, don't they?
Pardon?
They update those classes on YouTube.
We can find out. He just provided us one particular one this year. I don't know if there's a series of them or different tiers or updates, but we'll certainly keep up. Okay.
And those guys are keeping those weapons in their pockets, right?
I think that's the intention, but I don't think that was the actual. I think it was concealed carry. If you remember, Mr. Page, I don't carry openly anymore because mayor's asked me not to do that. I'm fine. I won't do that. But I think if you remember, Mr. Page didn't vote for that policy because he wanted it concealed. I don't think the actual policy says it must be concealed. I don't know of any employee that's openly carrying anymore.
I would feel much safer if they didn't carry it. I mean, if I didn't know you had it. Because if I know you got a gun on you, that's going to make me kind of freak out. And I'm like, it's name of the game is you get me before I get you. You know what I'm saying?
There's no employees that are doing it. And as a matter of courtesy, the mayor said, I would like for everybody to do that. And I think everybody is respecting that. Yep. Okay. And thank you for your support. If you have any other questions or items, I'd be happy to address them.
Thank you.
You can turn it off. Are you adjourned, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
I adjourned the Police and Employment Committee at 7:40.
Chief, I need to get with you. The rest of the